Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tuassir wa tammim bil khair. Exercise number 10. In this exercise, we are going to talk about Lamul Ibtida. As we know that we have discussed and learned about different types of lam, lamat in Arabic language. We started with the lam al jarah, which is basically used for li zaydin li bilalin, for possession. Then we have learned about lam al ta'lil, and we have learned about lam al amr, and this is called lam al ibtida. The most important thing about this lam is that it is non-functional. It does not have any impact when we talk about the i'rab. So it does not bring any changes to the ending of the noun. However, it is used for the purpose of emphasis. As we can see here, tawqid. So it is used for emphasis. لهذا مستحيل. This is impossible. So when we say هذا مستحيل, it means it is impossible. But when we say لهذا مستحيل, then the translation will be indeed it is impossible. So basically it gives the meaning of indeed or certainly or surely it is impossible. هذه لام الابتداء. This is لام الابتداء. وتفيد. تفيد أفاد يفيد إفادة. The same bab that we are doing now. أسلم يسلم إسلاما. أفاد يفيد إفادة, and it gives the benefit. تفيد توكيد مضمون الجملة. So it gives the benefit of, or the advantage of, or it is used for the purpose of emphasis. وفي التنزيل, and in the Quran, نزل ينزل تنزيلا, as we know that this word is used for the Quran as well. ولا أجر الآخرة أكبر, and the reward of Akhirah is great, is bigger. So where is Lam al Ibtida? Voila. So yes, this Lam is basically Lam al Ibtida, and it is used for emphasis. So it will be indeed the reward of Akhirah is bigger. Similarly, we have Wala dhikrullahi akbar, the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is great or bigger. So again, we can see here that this is lam, and it does not have any impact on the ending of the noun. So the i'rab will not change. Wala ajrul akhirati, as we can see, ajru, it did not change into ajra or ajri. It remains as it is, and similarly here, it does not change. Similarly, wala adabul akhirati akbar. Indeed, the punishment of the Day of Judgment is bigger. Then we have وَلَامَةٌ مُؤْمِنَةٌ خَيْرٌ مِّن مُشْرِكَةٍ وَلَوْ أَعْجَبَتْكُمْ. And indeed, a slave mu'mina, a slave woman, is better than a polytheist or a non-Muslim. وَلَوْ أَعْجَبَتْكُمْ, even if you like her. So here we can see here wala amatun, and indeed the slave woman. So the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that a believing slave woman is better than a polytheist, even though she might please you, or even though you might like her. And in the same verse of the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah 221, وَلَعَبْدٌ مُؤْمِنٌ خَيْرٌ مِّن مُشْرِكٍ وَلَوْ أَعْجَبَكُمْ. So here it is أَعْجَبَتْكُمْ. أَعْجَبَت. Why it is أَعْجَبَت? Because it refers to mu'mina.
Feminine.
Yes, feminine. And أَعْجَبَ is used for the masculine because it refers to the mu'min. Perfect. All right. So mushrikun. Yes, now I'm sure you can figure out mushrikun. This is which bab is this? Which verb form is this? Ashraka, yushriku, ishrakan. Okay. Fahuwa, mushrikun. So this is the same bab that we are discussing now. And similarly, a believing man or slave is better than a non-Muslim or polytheist, and even if you like him. Then we have a hadith, وفي الحديث لغدوة في سبيل الله أو روحة خير من الدنيا وما فيها. So here we have wala abdun lam, and here we have la ghadwatun, as it is blue in color. So this beautiful hadith, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, ghadwatun is basically, as we know, it's used for ghad, and ghad is basically, it refers to the morning. So verily, verily or surely, la ghadwatun fi sabilillahi, setting out or going out in the early morning, fi sabilillahi, in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, aw, or rawhatun, or in the evening. Why? In order to fight in Allah's way. Khayrun min ad-dunya wa ma fiha, is better than the dunya and whatever is inside it. Fiha, ha refers to what? It refers to dunya. Why? Because dunya in Arabic is feminine. That's why rak'atay al-fajri khayrun min ad-dunya wa ma fiha. If you remember, we have learned a hadith that the 2 rak'ah of fajr are better than the dunya and whatever is inside it. And similarly here we have la ghadwatun fi sabilillahi aw rawhatun khayrun min ad-dunya wa ma fiha. Verily, setting out in the early morning or in the evening in order to fight in Allah's way is better than the world and what it contains. So again here we have la ghadwatun. So here it is lamul ibtida, and it is used for tawqid. Asbaha, as we have learned earlier, asbaha min akhawati kana, it is from the sisters of kana. Nahwu, for example, asbaha hamidun maridan. Hamid woke up, or he entered the morning. How? When he was sick. Yani Hamid entered the morning while he was sick. Ay adrakahu as-subahu. That means that he was, or the morning approached him or reached him. Wahuwa maridun, and he was sick. Adraka, as we know that this is also form number 4. Adraka yudriku idrakun. Wama adraka ma laylatul qadr, as we have learned this. So it means to know or to enter. Here it means to enter. Yani adrakahu as-subhu, that he entered the morning. Wahuwa maridun, in this state that he was sick. Wahuwa maridun, what kind of sentence is this? Simple sentence. Huwa is mubtada and maridun is khabar. But what about wow? What kind of wow is this?
عطف يا أستاذ.
No. Ataf of what with what? أي أدركه الصبح وهو مريض. He entered the morning in a state that he was sick. While he was sick. When do we use or translate while? Does anyone remember? While he was sick or when he was sick? Come on, this is called waw al-hal. Waw al-hal. This waw is used to describe the condition of the person, like in what condition he did something. لا تشرب الماء وأنت واقف. Do you remember the example? Don't drink water while you are standing, right? So after wow, whenever you see a nominal sentence or a verbal sentence, when you see a complete sentence after that, the chances are that it is waw al-hal. This is the waw of condition. وفي التنزيل, and in the Quran, وأصبح فؤاد أم موسى فارغا, and the heart of Musa became empty. Here it is basically, it gives the meaning of to become, as it has 2 meanings. Number 1, it means to enter the morning, and number 2, it means to become, as it says over here, وَقَدْ تَأْتِي بِمَعْنَى صَارَ. It gives the meaning of Sara. Sara yasiru sayruratan, that means to become. Sara yasiru sayruratan. We have heard the word masir. Masir is a place of reaching, or a place of approaching. كما في قوله تعالى, as in the Quran, فألف بين قلوبكم. So he joined your hearts. فأصبحتم, and you became بِنِعْمَتِهِ, by his mercy, إِخْوَانًا, brothers, and by his mercy you became brothers. So here أصبح or أصبحتم gives the meaning of to become, and you became, and you became. So it gives the meaning of to become over here. So it has two meanings. أصبحنا وأصبح الملك لله. When we make the dua for the morning adhkar, as you know that we all, every day, alhamdulillah, we do morning adhkar. So in morning adhkar, when we are making the dua, Allahumma bika asbahna wa asbah alhamdulillah. So all of them, that means that we entered the morning. But it also gives the meaning of فأصبحتم, you became. For example, I say, MashaAllah, أنت أصبحت عالما. You have become an alim. So it depends on the context, in what context we are talking about. So it is from the sisters of Kana, and it has two meanings. Number one, to enter the morning, and number two, it means to become. Okay, it says أدخل. Okay, أدخل. This is past, present, or فعل الأمر. فعل الأمر. فعل الأمر of أدخل يدخل إدخالا أدخل. Here it says rewrite, but basically it means enter. أصبح على الجمل الآتية. So basically we have to use أصبح with the following sentences, and we have to make sure that we remember the change is that أصبح is the sister of Kana. What is the function of Kana? Does anyone remember?
The mubtada is marfu.
Excellent. And khabar is mansub. So we say ismu kana and khabaru kana. Perfect. Perfect. So here we have al bardu shadidun. It's very cold. And if we want to say it has become very cold. أصبح البرد شديدا. Perfect. شديدا. So ismu أصبح will remain the same. It will be marfu. But khabaru أصبح becomes mansub. كان الله عليما حكيما. So we see كان الله. So اسم الجلالة is marfu and عليما حكيما is mansub. أنا مريض. So you want to say I became patient. أصبحت مريضا. Perfect. أصبحت مريضا, because here tu is the file. So fail plus file, and this is in fact we will say tu is ismu أصبح and مريضا is خبر أصبح. هم أصدقاء, they are friends. We want to say they became friends.
أصبحوا
أصبحوا أصدقاء. Perfect. They became friends. Excellent. All right. أوشك, meaning قرب, that something is about to. قرب means to be near. So something is near. So أوشك means معناه قرب, it means to be near. وهي تعمل عمل كان, and it also functions like كان. ويجب, but there is a change. ويجب أن يكون خبرها مكونا من أن والفعل المضارع. But the difference is that its khabar should be made of mukawwan. It should be made of kawana yukawwinu takwinan. So mukawwin means someone who makes, and mukawwan is something that is made of. When we talk about the ingredients of a recipe, we say mukawwanat. مكونات يعني ingredients. ويجب أن يكون خبرها مكونا من أن, and it is necessary that its khabar must be made of an والفعل المضارع and فعل المضارع. يعني it should be مصدر المؤول. The khabar should be المصدر المؤول. For example, أوشك الدرس أن ينتهي. أن ينتهي. The lesson is about to finish. So أوشك, and then we have ismu أوشك is الدرس, and khabaru أوشك is what? An yantahiya, the lesson is about to finish. So whenever we use the word awshaka, we have to make sure that the khabar comes with an. It comes with an. ويستعمل منها المضارع أيضا نحو, and similarly we also use مضارع of أوشك. So what is the مضارع of أوشك? يوشك. يوشك الطلاب أن يرجعوا إلى بلادهم. The students are about to return to their countries. So here it is the present tense. الطلاب is ismu yushiku and an yarji'u is khabaru yushiku. Asa, so it's used as like asa. Asa, as we have in the Quran, it's used a lot. Asa Rabbuna an yubdilana khayran minha. So Asa Rabbuna an yubdilana. So we have to remember that this is similar to Asa. The similarity between Yushiku and Asa is that their khabar always comes as al-masdar al-mu'awwal. It always comes as masdar al-mu'awwal. And this is point number 12 or exercise number 12. Now we move on to number 13. All these points, if you remember in the beginning of the lesson, we discussed them in the handouts. So now we are just, we did that in English and now we are going through one by one in Arabic. يريدها لأمر ما. He wants her for something or for some reason. هذه ما النكرة التامة المبهمة. So this is a complete ma, which is basically a ma. This is ma of ambiguity. Ambiguity. Mubhama means mubhamatu yani ambiguity. So this is ma of ambiguity. What is so special about it? This is nakira. Nakira tama yani this is not ma'rifa, this is nakira. Yani that means this is always used as a common noun. It is always used as a common noun, and it is mubham. Mubham yani it always carries ambiguity. Ambiguity means the meaning is hidden, the meaning is not clear. وَتَأْتِي نَعْتًا, and it comes as an adjective. لِمَا قَبْلَهَا, whatever before comes or whatever comes before it. So basically it is used as an adjective for the noun that comes before it. As we know, noun, adjective, they always come together. So noun comes first and adjective comes later. So it is basically used as adjective. Nahwu, for example, Safartu ila Riyadi, I went to Riyadh, lisababin ma, for some reason. So when you want to say for some reason, then you will use lisababin ma. Any for some reason, I don't know whatever the reason was, but I went to Riyadh. So here it is basically sifa of sababin. So sababin is a common noun, as we can see here. It's a common noun. And why it is majroor? It is majroor of because of li sababin. So we will say that ma is also majroor, but it is mahallan majroor. Right? Why it is mahallan majroor? Because this is mabni. It does not change. A'tini kitaban ma. Give me any book. So now here kitaban is mansub and ma is also mansub. رأيته في مكان ما, I saw him somewhere. So here مكان ما, I saw him somewhere. So مكان is موصوف and ma is صفة. So it is used as an adjective and it carries the meaning of ambiguity. قرأت هذا الخبر, I read this news في صحيفة ما, in any newspaper or in a newspaper. يعني I read this news in a newspaper, but I don't know which one. All right. I think this is the last point. Muhammad ibn William. Muhammad, the son of William. Now, if you remember, we discussed in book 2 as well that the word ibnun, when it comes between two proper nouns, for example, Muhammad is a proper noun and William is also a proper noun, we call them alamain. So when the word Muhammad comes between two proper nouns, for the first noun, it becomes adjective. Or you can simply say that it carries the same ending as there is an ending of the noun that comes before it. So here Muhammadu has dhamma and the kalima ibnu has dhamma. If the word Muhammad has fatha, then it will take fatha. And if the word Muhammad has kasra, then it will take kasra. Is this clear? This is first part. So the noun that comes before the kalima ibnun is used as adjective. So this is basically masuf and this is sifa. And the word that comes after the word ibn, it is always used as mudaf ilayh. Now you might be thinking like Williama, if it is mudaf ilayh, it should be with kasra. Why it is not without kasra? Because it is mamnu min as-sarf. Why it is mamnu min as-sarf? Because it's a non-Arabic name. So that's why it will be Williamu, Williama, Williama. So Muhammad ibn Williama, Muhammad the son of William. تحذف همزة ابن إذا جاء صفة لعلم. So if it comes as an adjective for a noun, so when we use it as an adjective, as we have discussed over here, then what happens? The hamza will be dropped. Do you see hamza here? No. Why? It has been dropped because it is coming between two nouns, two proper nouns. So when the word ibnun comes between two proper nouns, the hamza gets dropped. Mudafan lismi abihi, and when it is used as mudaf for the father. So basically what happens? The first one has to be son and the second one has to be father, or first one has to be a proper noun and the second one has to be a proper noun. So when it comes between two proper nouns, then the hamza of ibnun will be dropped. Did you get the idea?
Yes, Ustad.
Okay, now look at this beautiful example. Muhammad ibn Abdullah ibn Abdul Muttalib. All right, so we can see over here, Muhammad ibn Abdullah. So here we know that this is used as Mawsuf and this is Sifa, so they have the same ending. However, the next construction is all Majroor. Why the whole construction is Majroor? Because this whole construction is used as Mudaf ilayh. So we know that Mudaf ilayh is always Majroor, so that's why it is Muhammad ibn Abdullah ibn Abdul Muttalib. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the son of Abdullah Abdul Muttalib. All right. ويشترط أن تكون الكلمات الثلاث في صدر واحد. And it is a condition that all the three words like Muhammad, wa Ibn, wa William, it is a condition that they should be in the same line. They should be in one line. وإذا جاء بعضها في سطر, if some part of it comes in one line, وبعضها في سطر آخر, and if the second part comes in the other line, كتبت كلمة ابن بالهمزة, then we have to write the word of ibn with hamza. Nahwu, for example, Al-Hasan ibn Ali. Now what happened over here? Two words are in one line and one word is in the other line. So if two words are written in one line and one word is written in the other line, then hamza comes back. That's condition number one. Condition number two is over here. ولا تحذف في مثل حامد بن الشيخ إبراهيم لأن ابن لم يقع بين العلمين. Okay, so here it says, ولا تحذف في مثل, here it will not be deleted, or this is the second condition basically. Why? What happened over here? حامد بن الشيخ إبراهيم لأن ابن لم يقع بين علمين. Here it did not come between two proper nouns. Can you figure out what happened over here? Hamid, is it a common noun or a proper noun? It's a proper noun, right? But after that we have a sheikh. A sheikh it's a proper noun, it carries al, it's a proper noun, it carries al, but it's not alam. It's not what? Alam. Alam means that it has to be the name of a specific person or specific place. For example, we say Makkah, Alam, Abdullah, Alam, Muhammad, Alam. But if we say Al-Kitabu, we will not say Al-Kitabu is Alam. We will only say it's a proper noun because it has been made proper by using Al. So now because it does not come between two proper nouns, that's why Hamza has come back. So there are two conditions when Hamza comes back. Condition number one, when two words are in one line and one word is in the other line. And the second condition is when it is not between alamain, then alif has to come back. I hope it's clear. And I remember that I gave you the example of this. We discussed the example of this, I don't know, in lesson number 2 or 3 or whatever. We have discussed the verses of the Quran, Isa ibn Maryam, and also we have discussed about the other examples as well. So I'm sure, inshallah, you remember those. Okay, now the easier part is Hati Jam' al Asma'il Atiyati. Now we have to provide the plural of the following nouns: Mushafun. What's the plural of mushafun?
مصاحف
Masahifu. La, without tanween. Why without tanween? It's mamnu min as-sarf. Why it is mamnu min as-sarf? Because it is on the pattern of mafa'ilu. This is only one pattern you need to remember, that whenever a word comes on the pattern of mafa'ilu, it is mamnu min as-sarf. Fina'un, that is basically the courtyard of something. Yes. Afniyatun, on the pattern of af'ilatun, as'ilatun, ajwibatun. So we have afniyatun, that means the courtyards. Nashatun, activity. I can give you the hint that this is also on the pattern of af'ilatun, on the same pattern. So what?
أنشطة
Anshitatun. Yes,
أنشطة
anshitatun. Yes, activities. Anshitatun. Okay, janibun, and the plural is mamnu min as-sarf. On the same pattern, on the pattern of mafa'ilu. Try to figure out the plural of jawanibu.
جوانب
Perfect, jawanibu. So why not jawanibun? Because it's mamnu min as-sarf. Perfect. Next question says hati madiya ya'bi. So basically it's not ya'bi, aba ya'ba, it should be ya'ba. So we have to provide the present tense of, or the past tense of, basically, of ya'ba. Aba ya'ba iba'an. So to refuse, basically, here. So this is basically I have taken it from my own dictionary, which I am compiling, alhamdulillah, and halfway through. So inshallah, when we do the analysis of the Quran, we will use this dictionary. So this is this is fifth verb of Bab Hamza. So we have abaya yabayu, and after changes it becomes abaya aba. It is on the pattern of fataha yaftahu, and the masdar is iba'an. And then there is example from the Quran. Fastajadu illa iblisa aba wastakbara. So they prostrated except for Iblis. He refused and was arrogant. Aba is basically used to refuse the authority. In everyday Arabic, the word that is used for refusing something is rafada yarfudu, marfudan. But when we talk about refusing the authority, like shaitan, refused the authority of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's why the verb that has been used is aba. So aba, and the present tense is ya'ba, and the past is aba. So it says give us the past tense. So the past tense of ya'ba is aba, ya'ba, iba'an, to refuse. أدخل كل كلمة مما يأتي في جملة مفيدة. Now we have to make sentences. So the words that are in red, we have to use these words into sentences. أعجبني كلامك. I was amazed by your conversation, or I liked your conversation. إن الله أثنى على. So basically we have to use أثنى على. So إن الله أثنى على نبيه نبيه في كتابه فقال إنك لعلى خلق عظيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam by saying, indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, indeed Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam has a great akhlaq. أنا مصاب بصداع الآن. So أنا مصاب, I am suffering from headache. Or now I am suffering from headache. Sudain is headache. So musabun, here it says use the word مشارق الأرض ومغاربها. يدرس في هذه الجامعة طلاب من مشارق الأرض ومغاربها. يعني the students from all over the world study in this university. أصبح, we have to use أصبح. So أصبح الطالب نشيطا, the student became active. And then we have to use ولو. تعالى مبكرا, come early. ولو كنت متعبا, even if you are tired. هنيهة, we have to use هنيهة. It is basically used as a ظرف. انتظر هنيهة, wait for a while. أوشك أوشك الربيع أن ينتهي. The spring season is about to finish. So these are the sentences You can make sentences of your own if you like to. Now we have the examples from the Quran. As I told you that we have taken these examples from understandquran.com, and this is a complete compilation of, not complete, but lots of verbs of Bab Af'ala come over here. And here it says that what is extra? Hamza is extra in this verb form. As we know that we are dealing with Mazid Fi. In Mazid Fi, there is always one letter or two letters or three letters are extra. In this case, this Hamza is extra. So the pattern is أفعل يفعل. فعل الأمر will be أفعل. اسم الفاعل is مفعل. اسم المفعول is مفعل. And then مصدر is إفعال. So أفعل يفعل أفعل مفعل مفعل and إفعالا. Then we have here this verb أبصر. It came in the Quran 36 times. To see, to watch. أبصر يبصر أبصر. Person, اسم الفاعل is مبصر. اسم المفعول is مبصر and مصدر is إبصار. Then we have also a very commonly used verb in the Quran. أحسن يحسن. فعل الأمر will be أحسن. Person is محسن. The one who received is محسن. And then we have إحسان, to do something with excellence. A very comprehensive verb used in the Arabic language. Then we have أخرج يخرج أخرج مخرج مخرج إخراج, to bring forth. أخلص يخلص أخلص مخلص مخلص إخلاص. What do you remember from Ikhlas?
سورة الإخراج.
Yes, excellent. 1/3 of the Quran, Surah Al-Ikhlas. So that means to be sincere and to be purified. So that's why it is called Ikhlas. Yani with all the Ikhlas, we get rid of everything, all the shirk, and we associate everything to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we ask everything from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only. أدخل يدخل أدخل مدخل مدخل and إدخال to enter. And then we have أرسل يرسل. And then we have فعل الأمر is أرسل. And the person who sends something is called مرسل. Something that is received is called mursal. And then we have irsal. Perfect. And this is the basic verb that we have used as an example. Aslama, yuslimu, aslim, muslim, muslim, and Islam. Then we have asma'a. So asma'a is basically form number 4. What is form number 1? Samia. Samia means to listen. Asma, to make someone listen, to make somebody listen. So if I ask you to for example, I want to listen to your lesson, I will say asma'ni darsak. Yani, I want to listen to your lesson. Asma'a yusmi'u wala anta bi musmi'un, and inshallah we will discuss more examples in the next lesson. Asma'a yusmi'u, asmi', musmi'un, musmi'an, and then we have isma'. Ashraka, yushriku, ashrik. Of course, this is just for the sake of learning. Mushrik, mushrak, and ishraq, to ascribe a partner. And then we have discussed asbaha, yusbihu, asbih, musbihun, musbihan, and isbahan. And then we have aslaha, yuslihu, aslih, muslih, muslah, and islah. This is from salaha, yaslahu. These are common and easy forms. These verb forms, okay, these are also common, so we can just have a look and go through quickly. Amsaka, yumsiku, amsik, mumsik, mumsak, and imsak, to hold. We discussed about imsak yesterday. Anbata, yunbitu, anbit, munbit, munbat, and inbat, to make something grow or to cause to grow. Andara, yundiru, andir, mundir, mundar, indar, to warn. Innama anta mundir, in the Quran. So there are many examples of this, 64 times. But we can see that anzala has been used 190 times in the Quran. Anzala yunzilu, anzil, munzil is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, munzal is the Quran, and inzal is sending something down. Ansha'a, to start, to make something start. Yunshi'u, anshi', munshi'un, munsha'an, insha'an. And then we have anfaqa, yunfiqu, anfiq, munfiq, munfaq, and infaq. And then we have ankara, yunkiru, to deny, ankir, munkir, munkar, and inkar. And then the last one over here, ahlaka, yuhliku, to destroy, ahlik, muhlik, muhlak, and ihlak, destroying. This part is important. What is so special about this part? There are two things that are special about it. Can you figure out what are those two things that are special about it?
The masdar ends with ta marbuta, Ustad.
Ahsanti. Yes, the masdar comes with ta marbuta. That's number one. Why? Because this is ajwaf. Why? Because this is ajwaf. So for ajwaf, masdar comes with ta marbuta. That's number one. What about number two? Ismul maf'ul. Ismul maf'ul also goes through a change. So as we can see here, aqama yuqimu, to establish. Aqim is fi'l al-amr. Muqim is the person who is staying somewhere. But it's not muqaymun. Ismul maf'ul is muqamun. Muqamana. We discussed yesterday. Asalullah an yaj'al al-jannata muqamana. And we discussed this yesterday. So muqam is not muqaym. It has gone through the change. And I discussed about the change in the previous lesson. It has become muqam. So there are two changes that you have to focus on. Number one, the ismul maf'ul becomes on the pattern of mufa'alun, and then also ta marbuta is added to the masdar. Adhaqa yudhiqu, to make somebody taste something. Adhiq, and then we have mudhiq, mudhaq, and idhaqat. And so once you get used to it, inshallah, it will be like flowing on your tongues. A'ada yu'idu, a'id, mu'id, mu'ad, i'adatan, to return something. Amata yumitu. Innahu huwa yuhyi wa yumit. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives life and He gives death. So as we can see, yumitu, amit, mumit, mumat, and imatatan. So these two forms are very important. Ismul maf'ul and masdar. Athara yuthiru, athir, muthir, muthar, and itharatan, to stir. And ajaba yujibu, ajib, mujib, mujab, and ijabatan. So this is about ajwaf. We have more examples of ajwaf over here. Ajara yujiru ajir, mujir, mujar, ijaratan, to give protection. Ahata wala yuhituna bishay'in min ilmihi. Ahata yuhitu, ahit, muhit, muhat, ihatatan. And then arada yuridu, arid, murid, murad, iradatan. So as we can see here, it is used 139 times in the Quran. So the reason why I'm going through quickly is about memorization. There is nothing that you need to know about it. It's just about, I have already given you the idea that only ismul maf'ul and masdar are different, and the rest will be the same. Asaba, yusibu, asib, musib, musab, and isabatun, we discussed in the previous lesson. And after that, we have over here ata'a, yuti'u, and then we have ati', muti', muta', ita'atan, as we can see over here. Then we have anaba, yunibu, anib, munib, munab, inabatan. And then the next one is ahana, yuhinu, ahin, muhin, muhan, and ihanatan. All right, so we just move on to the next part of the lesson over here. All right, so ahana, yuhinu, ahin, muhin, muhan, and ihanatan. And then we have ahya, yuhyi, and this is ahyi, muhyin, muhyan, and ihya'an. Okay, now here we have naqis. In the previous slide we had ajwaf, and here we have naqis. You know what naqis verb? A verb that has ya as the last or the third root letter. So when we have ya as the last or third root letter, naqis, then the verb goes through two changes. Change number one, as we can see over here, it will be similar to this, mukhfin and mukhfan, the ya will be dropped. And the second change that we have to notice over here, the masdar takes hamza. So basically we discussed in the previous lesson that basically there was ya over here, it was ihyajan, there was ya over here, but when ya comes after alif, it changes into hamza. So this is the change that you need to see, that in naqis, the change that has taken place, the masdar comes with hamza. The masdar comes with hamza. Akhfa yukhfi, akhfi, mukhfin, mukhfan, ikhfa'an, to hide something. So you will see that all of the endings of the masdar, they will come with hamza. Alqa, yulqi, alqi, mulqin, mulqan, ilqa'an, to throw. We discussed in the previous lesson. Anja, yunji, And then we have anji, munjin, munjan, inja'an, to rescue. Adha, yu'dhi, and then we have adi, mu'dhin, mu'dhan, idha'an, to harm or to give trouble. Adra, yudri, adri, mudrin, mudran, and idra'an. Wama adraka ma laylatul qadr. We have discussed about this. Aghna, yughni, aghni, mughnin, mughnan, and ighna'an, to enrich. So in ajwaf, masdar takes ta marbuta. We have discussed about this. And in naqis, the masdar takes hamza. So in either way you can remember it, that in naqis verb, masdar takes hamza. Awha, yuhi, awhi, muhin, muhan, ihan. Ara, yuri, ari, murin, muran, ira'atan. This is an exception. Here ta marbuta has been used, so you can take it as an exception. So ara, yuri means to show. Ra'a means to see, and ara means to show. Awfa, yufi, awfi, mu'fin. Mufin, sorry, it's not mu'fin, it's mufin. We need to be careful. Mufan, ifa'an, to fulfill. Ayqana, yuqinu, ayqin, muqin, muqan, iqanan, to believe. And amana, yu'minu, amin, mu'min, mu'man, and imanan. And then we have ata, yu'ti, ati, mu'tin, mutan, and ita'an. We also discussed in the previous lesson. Now, when we start the Quran and when we start Surah Al-Baqarah, even in the beginning of Surah Al-Baqarah, we have so many examples of Bab Af'ala, Yufilu If'alan. So that's why this is the most important Bab of the Arabic language, and it is the most commonly used in the Quran. So inshallah, let's just analyze the verses number 3, 4, 5, and 6 of Surah Al-Baqarah. So, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. We have Alif Lam Mim. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. So we have the first 3 verses and 2 verses, and then we start from the third one. الذين يؤمنون. يؤمنون. Can you figure out?
آمن
آمن يؤمنون. Yes, يؤمنوا يؤمنان يؤمنون. Perfect. الذين يؤمنون بالغيب. Those who believe in the غيب. ويقيمون. Yes.
أقام
أقام يقيم
يقيم
إقامة. يقيمون الصلاة, and they establish prayer. ومما رزقناهم ينفقون. Yes.
أنفق
أنفق
ينفق
ينفق infaqan. Perfect. So you can see over here that subhanallah, we have 3 different examples of bab af'ala yufilu if'alan. والذين يؤمنون. Again we have يؤمنون بما أنزل. Yes, أنزل.
What?
Yes.
أنزل.
Anzala. So this is basically passive. Passive. Okay. This is والذين, and those who يؤمنون, believe, bima, on what unzila ilayka, has been revealed or sent down to you. So when you look at the translation, you will be able to know that this is passive. And how do we know it's a passive? That in the beginning we have dhamma, and then the second last letter has kasra, so that means this is the passive of the past tense. This is for the madi. Bima unzila ilayka. So this is also form number 4. Wama unzila, and whatever was revealed, min qablika, before you. Wa bil akhirati hum yuqinun. What about yuqinun? We discussed it today. Ayqana, yuqinu, iqanan. Yes, yuqinun. Perfect. So we have this example here as well. Ulaika ala hudam min rabbihim wa ulaika humul muflihun. Yes. أفلح
أفلح
يفلح إفلاحا فهو مفلح. مفلحان مفلحون مفلحون. And indeed they are the ones who are successful. Okay, وأولئك هم المفلحون. Why we have this hum over here? This is called Damir al-Fasl. Basically, this is used to basically bring the difference or bring in the break between the mubtada and khabar. If we say ulaik al muflihun, then it means they are successful. But when we bring in hum in between that, it will be they are those who are successful. So this is what we call Damir al-Fasl, and this is used between Mubtada and Khabar so that we can separate Mubtada and Khabar. If we don't have this Damir, then it becomes Ishara and Musharan ilayh. Because you know this is Ulaika is Ishara and Al-Muflihun is Musharan ilayh. So this one, then the meaning will change. So that's why it is. So it has to be according to, the Damir has to be according to the Khabar. So if it is Huwa, if it is singular, so Alladhi Huwal Muflihu. If it's one person. And if it's plural, then it will be humul muflihun. So it is according to the khabar that comes after that. Inna alladhina kafaru sawa'un alayhim. Those who disbelieved, it is equal for them. Anzartahum. Yes, anzar. We discussed today. Anzara yunziru inzaran. To warn. Yeah. Anzartahum am lam tunzirhum. Whether you warn them or you do not warn them, La yu'minun, they will not believe. So this is just the beginning of Surah Al-Baqarah, and as we can see over here, we have around 6 to 8 examples of this form. So this form is very important. And the next lesson is basically the combination of form number 2, which is fa'ala yufa'ilu taf'ilan, and form number 4, which is aslama yuslimu islaman. So inshallah, when we discuss the next lesson, we will have more examples of form number 2 and form number 4. Is there any question?
No, sir.
All right. Alhamdulillah, so it's clear. So inshallah, we will meet again in the next lesson. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاك الله خير.
وإياكم.
Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.